Okay, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen, click away now if you don't want to be spoiled. So, because I'm going to talk about it. Sorry, my page. Something under my page. Okay, Will Powers from Stranger Things. That last episode, episode 4 of season 5. It was cool. So, let's try and draw this. I'm on a landscape page. Use a pencil, use an eraser. Hit pause. If I go too fast, we're going to draw him with the hand. It's kind of like in front of his face, like just below his chin. So we'll start with this sort of eyebrow frown line. Just carving, right? Kind of like a check mark. Just going back this way. Cool moment. So what do the white eyes mean? That's what I want to know. Is he as strong as Vecna now? And like, so his eyebrow is kind of here, right? It's kind of like stepped in from this. And then it goes back. Just down. Spike down there, right? We might have like a little bit of a nose line sort of going down there. His eyes in here, so it just goes up, nearly touches his eyebrow, and then comes back sort of down this way, and he's got like eyelashes here. Bottom eyelid line down this way, curving around and back in to his tear duct, just in there. Just thicken this up a bit more. So we don't have like the color part of his eye. It's gone basically. So we have an eyelid line just coming out from here, it looks like. And maybe it like goes a bit further over here. And he does have eyelashes on the bottom here, so we'll just do some like a light sort of eyelid line here maybe. Some eyelashes just coming off. And if you want, we can do like a sort of a broken sort of dotted kind of ghost like, or you know, like a little different color for the color part of his eye in there. If you want, that's optional, or you could just leave everything white. Just like a little sort of, just a place that we can put like a darker section of green, because that's the way it seems like in the show. It's like his eyes are cloudy rather than all white, you know. So his other eye is behind his nose, right? And he's frowning real heavy again. So the nose line just here, right, will come down. And he does have quite a long nose, right? So that's like the bridge of his nose. And then we'll just add the other eye in the eyebrow. So it's like going up this way, because we're in sort of a 3/4 pose. So it's like this side of his eye is kind of turned away from us. So it kind of goes more vertical this way. Maybe hairy at the front with a bit of that frown. Right, so his other eye in underneath this eyebrow, it looks like, comes out from just sort of here, right? Big sort of eyelash area. And then bottom eyelid line just curving around, coming up into the corner of his eye here. Just see his tear duct in there. Again, I'll give him like a little bit of a ghost eye just in here. Just a little sort of dotted area that we can put sort of a white cloudy eye in. So we just have like, he has some eyelashes sticking out here as well. Some light little spiky eyelashes. And maybe like a bag underneath his eye there. Maybe something here as well. Now we finish his nose. So it comes down, real pointy at the top. Right, so it goes down around here. And then we get sort of his nostril just there. And then the back of his nose, the skin of the nostril. In that way. And then we can see like the skin of his nose on the other side a little bit here as well. Like sort of bone, the bone of his nose in there, the bridge. Like so. Okay, his mouth is kind of open, so he kind of snarls in the show. But maybe we'll do something a little bit easier than a snarl. So yeah, mouth kind of open. So let's just start with. We'll just add a shadow in where it's open. Just start here. Kind of. Curve it around for the upper lip. Right, so it's like his mouth is kind of closed a bit. But we'll add his top lip in. And then there's like a little section that's like open, but I'm just going to make it like a dark shadow sort of in here. And then we just add the bottom lip then. So kind of like his mouth is open there. And maybe like just a shadow sort of underneath there for his chin. Okay, so the chin itself, sort of here. Right, curving around. And then we go up for his jaw. That way. Change direction just about here and go up, turn for the jawbone and up towards his ear. Okay, on the other side, so we have like his cheek, so it kind of bumps around here. Then it goes out for his cheekbone and up to the eyebrow. That kind of a shape. I mean, I'm kind of smiling there. I'm just going to change that bit. Sorry. So, sort of, we don't want him looking serious rather than confident, but you know, maybe kind of slightly smiling. All right. So next, his ear. So the earlobe just starts here, kind of beside his eye. Just bring it up. And I'd imagine his hair kind of comes down, but maybe we'll just draw the ear in sort of like this. And then I think is like his sideburn is just here. And then ear lines inside. Like so. It's like his cheekbone to be there. Right, so it's all about the hair now with Will. So this big, lots of hair spikes and all sorts of stuff. So coming across his fringe, right, we got sort of like lots of sort of coming down onto his head. Pretty close to his eyebrows. Touching his eyebrows in some cases. And then going this way. Maybe some kind of coming out underneath here, you know, because his hair is kind of wet, so maybe we could actually do some like a drip. Just dripping off his hair. Actually, that might look cool. So just keep building it up. Can't really see his forehead. Maybe like the beginning of it, but mostly just his hair now. Seems to maybe go down sort of behind his eye there as well. All this hair here now. All starting to kind of go around in that sort of pattern of hair that he has. All around top of his head. So we got kind of all just comes down this way. So you might get like some texture on the inside as well. You know, little pieces of hair in there, texture lines and stuff. Yeah, and I'll put like another drip sort of coming off his. And he's kind of like beat up, so there's like some scratches on his face and like just on the like the corner of his mouth and all that, like. Okay, looking serious. So we get like his neck. So his neck like comes down the back here. And we get like a bit of a neck muscle sort of there and in there. And then his t-shirt, so his kind of collar of his t-shirt comes down. Now his thumb comes across his chin in the scene. So it's kind of optional. You could do the hand lower down if you wanted, but I'll do it like as close to the scene as I could get it. So I'll just stop that there. And then like his shoulders back here. So we get like, you know, round shoulder sort of curves here for his clothing. You know, like it's all being pulled sort of this direction. His back sort of goes down that way. This is like, he's got a t-shirt on top of a long sleeve. So this all kind of curves around there. Okay, so tricky part, of course, will be the hand, right? So we'll just bump this down maybe just as far as there. So he's doing this kind of thing. So like we can see like the base of the knuckles, right? So we'll go 1 knuckle, 2, and it's coming down this way. 3, and his pinky sort of goes out, right? So these ones splay out this way. So 1, that's his index, middle, ring finger, pinky going there. So we'll start with the index, right? Your finger has 3 segments, right? 1, 2, 3, with 2 knuckles in between. This is the first knuckle. So you turn. You go up that way. So 1 segment, 2 segment, 3rd segment then just here for the tip of his finger. And then we will curve this around. And we got 1 segment that kind of lines up with where this knuckle was. 3rd segment, and then the final one just down in there. And we'll have, you know, his, just suggest his sort of knuckles and skin on his fingers and stuff, and fingernails. And so, next finger, just here, 1 segment, 2 segment, 3 segment, and it just curves around. I'll go up that way. And I'm going to do fingernail. Some knuckle lines just on top. And then we'll do the next one. 1, 2, 3 bumps. Go around the tip of his finger. And back down. 1, 2, 3. And then sort of a fingernail here. Some knuckles on it. And then this finger sticking out this way. Get like his pinky. Right, and then his thumb, posable. So it's opposite side, goes up onto his face a little bit here, and then back around. And maybe we could see like a little bit of his thumbnail just there on the side. And then the palm of the hand, just in here. And then we can see his sleeve. So the sleeve comes down just around the hand here. You could see maybe his, like his wrist or something, or the back of his hand just going in there. And then there's an edge line on his sleeve there, and the rest is just this round sleeve lines. So hands are always tricky. Take your time with this. So his other shoulder just comes down the other side of his body here, right? So this collar, say, goes around his chin. That comes down that way. And then shoulder goes here. Down. And he's got that like different color that's on his chest. Then his body just goes that way. I think he's just got another sort of sleeve down there. You can just dart up, just make this kind of grubby looking. Maybe like some sweat on his hand, on his fingers. Or some drips. Of course, if you want, like sometimes in the thing, I think you can see his teeth in there. You could leave it white if you wanted to put teeth instead of a dark shadow, but that's probably a bit harder, I would say. And I'll just erase that because it's going over his chin. But there you go. Will with his powers. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.